Hi, how are you?
I am doing great. It is Tuesday,
March
6th,
yes.
2017.
Wait a second.
Ha-ha.
Nope, it's 18.
2018. I was actually
Wow.
busy trying to put on our fancy
Oh
little
yeah,
names.
because I'm Leanne Thompson.
And I'm John Hunt.
There you
And
go.
welcome to myOrganized.life live. This is the show where we give you organizing tips, advice, and
Get comments, questions.
yes. And today we want to know if you are a road warrior.
What's that?
A road warrior is someone who is maybe a mobile worker.
Okay.
Maybe they work at home, but they have to go out and take their car, work from a coffee shop or
Your
a
dream?
co-working space. Yes, my dream, working at Starbucks. Still working on them for a national sponsor
Yep,
for the show,
yep.
but we'll get that eventually. But yeah, so if you are a road warrior and you work from your car or work from a remote location, go ahead and put that in the comments. We'd love to hear about that and say kind of what you do.
Just don't put it in the comments while you're driving.
Yes. If
We
you're
don't
driving
want
right
texting
now,
and driving.
definitely not.
And probably put our show down.
Yes,
if
we
you're driving.
definitely don't want that. But anyway, so put that, or just where you're watching from. We'd like to hear from you if you have any questions or comments about mobile organizing. We're kind of focusing on that topic this week.
Yep.
Yesterday, we talked about a podcast that we did with Helene Segura, the Inefficiency Assassin. Anyway, she's got a great podcast on mobile
Yep.
organizing, getting organized. In fact, today we're going to talk a little bit more about that with an article.
But she also wrote.
Yes, at
She's
Smead,
a jack of all trades.
Organized Life. You can
Yep.
find this article if you go to Smead.com and in the little search bar, just put in Road Warriors.
Yep, and they should find it.
They should find it
Right.
because this is a great article talking about, things, tips on
Mobile offices
Right.
and how they can be how they can help you and
right.
the
Now I
tips.
have a little a fun little graphic.
Oh, what's that? Oh my
What
gosh.
do you think that is?
Well, that
That
looks
is a heck of a
like-
mobile office.
It is a mobile office. Wow, you've got the suits
Actually, it's a
hanging
mobile
up.
closet.
Cool. Okay, you need to have a pretty fancy car for that. There's shoes, ties. It looks like
Yeah.
what's that thing on the bottom right?
Well,
I
these
can't
are like
see.
little drawers right
Those
there.
are drawers. Okay, I can't see.
Yeah.
It's so small. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Okay.
Isn't that something?
That is cool.
Okay.
Well, do you know how many people telecommute in the country?
You mean like a
What?
percentage?
What percentage?
I don't know. I would say maybe 18 to 20%.
You would think, because it seems like everybody you
Yeah,
talk to
all my
works from-
friends do.
Only 2.9%.
Oh, well, that's still
Just
a ton
shy
of
of
people.
4 million people. It
4
is.
million people.
Yeah.
And we think about adults. That's a lot of people who are. No wonder at Starbucks it's hard to get a table, right?
Yes.
See, there's that
exactly.
product placement again.
We need just a cup right here.
Howard Schultz, give me a call, please.
I'm going to get you a mug. We can sit right here.
Okay, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So anyway, that's a lot of people that are on the road,
Right.
and we're going to give these people some tips on how to maybe manage their road life a little bit better.
Yeah, and I bet there are some challenges that people who work on the go or road warriors have. What would
Yep.
you say those are?
Well, there's two
Okay.
main ones at least.
Okay.
Managing your multiple offices. So,
Yeah.
you might have your car, well, for surely you're going to have your car,
Right.
maybe your home, and then if you have a building that you go to, a desk.
Yeah, a lot of people they have to go to the office one day a week.
Yep.
Where their sales manager or whatever can see them, or
Yeah.
to get those social skills or whatever.
course.
So yeah, I mean that provides a lot of challenges and we'll talk a little bit about that in the tips today. What are the kinds of things that you have to take into consideration when you have 3 different locations?
Yeah, that can be
you're
tough.
working from, right?
Yep.
What's the other challenge?
The other challenge is managing time and workload.
Okay.
So, if you're in your car, you're bound to run into some traffic
Yes.
or
Oh,
whatnot. So we're going to talk about how to manage maybe issues that come up.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing too is when you're driving a lot of places. If there's a commute time, okay, so that could be downtime for you, but it could also be time that you could be making phone calls, but you
Yep.
can't do too much when you're driving. So yeah, there are a lot of challenges with that time management and
Yep.
also kind of which office do I need to be at, which client, who's located where, and
Right.
so okay, well, we'll talk about some of those tips as well from this article. Again, if you want to find the article, it's at Smead.com. Go up into the search box at the top and just type in Road Warriors, and we will. You'll be able to easily find it.
Yep, you'll find it.
And then in that article also there's a link to the podcast we talked about on yesterday's program. Okay, so
First tip for managing multiple offices.
Managing multiple offices. Okay, what do we got?
Use triplicates.
Okay, use triplicates. Now, what in the world is use triplicates? I mean, when I think about that, I think about the idea of, take a pen and press hard so you can get 3 copies. Is that?
Oh, like the carbon?
I might be dating myself
the
too.
Pink and yellow flip. Okay, well that's
and take one copy goes to the original owner, and one goes to.
And then you just fold it up and put it in your purse, and then you forget about it till.
I assume that's not what we're talking about.
No.
Okay.
This
use
is
triplicates.
This is having 3 of each.
Okay.
Thing, not necessarily files, but if you need a stapler.
Okay.
Or.
Yeah, whatever it is. You don't necessarily want to have to remember to bring a stapler every time you go to your car, and so you might want to have one
cleaning
in your
supplies
car.
at home. Maybe you want a bathroom cleaning set in each bathroom versus lugging it around the house.
Right. And there's certain things you don't want duplicates or triplicates of, but think about those items. Are there any other examples of things that so things like office supplies you may or may not?
Yeah, you might want just a few spare folders in each area.
Right.
A couple, of course, pens. You don't want to be searching frantically for a pen in your car.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on to number 2, which is have a go bag with compartment.
A go bag. What's a go bag?
A go bag. Well, what I'm thinking of is I think about your cleaning supplies analogy. It might be something that you take with you. Because there's certain things you maybe don't want triplicates, you only want one of.
Right.
But you take it with you wherever you go.
That's a good idea.
And I happen to have a good idea.
Of course you do. Okay.
This would be like a Go file. Take a look at this. It's got little handles on it. It has your files in it.
Desktop.
Yeah, this is the
file box.
It could be used on a desktop. Yeah, it's our portable file box, available at myOrganized.life. A little plug there for that. But this is something where, especially if you have like current projects that you're working on, or you're going to see multiple clients, you might want something like this. That's what I think about go bag. But you also could have a
canvas over the shoulder.
Sure, there's lots of different ways that you can go with that. So
but you don't want it to be too deep where you're going to lose all your stuff. You need to have the compartments ready, having them work for you versus digging way down and searching for the jump drive or file or whatever it may be.
Okay, so speaking of that, we have kind of like our closet in the trunk. If you don't have that fancy closet trunk, then you have your
a trunk office.
A trunk office. Okay, so a trunk office is I kind of have a visual in my mind. Maybe it's not quite like the one we talked about, but what do you think would be in a trunk office?
I picture it being maybe a plastic carton or crate that holds hanging files.
Yeah.
Or
could
just
be a
tote.
Yeah, a tote or something with a top on it. That could have some supplies in it.
And then you go in your trunk and take out what you need for your specific client and put that in your go bag or go file, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, that's great. And you leave it in there because you don't need to be taking it in and out all the time.
Right. And if you do, go from maybe your car to the subway, if you live in a city that has, mass transportation, maybe you get one of those suitcase on wheels. You just got a couple of those, didn't you?
I just got those, yep.
John's going on a fancy dancy trip.
Yes, South Africa, so that should be fun. Anyone out there watching from South Africa? To see right now it's 2 in the morning. Probably not, unless you have insomnia. Then you might actually be watching this.
So you had to get those suitcases.
Yes, Oh, they're really cool. I love them too.
I have one too.
It's great. So
I like spinning it like at the airport.
Yes,
I think you're pretty cool doing that.
Okay, number 4 of the managing multiple offices is go digital when possible. So that seems kind of like a lot of common sense, but
But we still like paper.
Yeah.
But there is a time and place for digital.
Yes.
So if you're going to go to a client or visit a different office, you're probably not going to want to lug all your files there all the time. So you might want a little jump drive or use those apps that we also talked about in yesterday's podcast a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe a Dropbox app, your calendar.
Or things, like even, maybe a lot of your phones have built-in things like obviously your address book and your calendar. I mean, that's digital.
Your map.
Yeah, your map and things like that. So, I think there's a lot of different things you can use just off your phone, but there are other things too, like there are battery-operated printers. In your laptop or whatever, and you can actually have a whole office of a little equipment right on your seat.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things. So the question is, again, back to that triplicate, do you need a printer at home, in your car, and maybe your other office? So you have to kind of determine what kind of printing you do.
Right. Yep.
So, okay, well, let's move on to our next set of 4. And what category is this under?
This is managing time and workload.
Okay, so what's the first one?
The first one is schedule fewer client appointments in a single day.
Okay, well,
and you might be thinking, what? I don't think so.
Well, especially if you're in sales and your sales manager says, you got to book 25 appointments in one day. Well, you hardly have time to go.
Yeah, it goes back to quantity versus quality.
Yeah,
so,
and we're managing time here too, so you need to have margin, you know, time to get to and from places. What happens if there's an accident or your one meeting goes over, so you don't want to pack them too close together.
No, and setting up a new client, that takes a lot of time, and you could be investing that time in your current clients and making sure they're getting, the best of your attention. And
right. Okay, this would be number 7. 7, right?
Oh, 7. Yes. Yep. 7 on the list.
No,
6 out of the list.
Yeah. Okay, because I got confused here because this one is pad your appointments with extra time, which kind of goes along with that same thing about scheduling fewer appointments. Again, when you're traveling, you want to be able to have that margin built in.
Yeah, they say about 20%, which seems like a lot, but
it does.
So if you run into traffic, you don't have to stress on your way there. It's like, okay, I padded this, so I have time.
Right. Yeah.
And then if you do get there early, maybe write down some notes from your last meeting.
Yeah.
Take some time to yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Take a nap.
I know one guy. Now, as you well know, if you watch any of our podcasts, I'm not one who's really good about getting on time, right?
Right.
So Geraldine Thomas on one of our podcasts totally deconstructs my character.
Have you put any of that to use?
I've been trying, but Geraldine, it was great advice. I haven't quite.
You can lead a horse to water, right?
Yes, this is true. But anyway, you do want to have some time built into your schedule. So, all right. Now, this is an interesting one right here. Make an appointment with yourself at the end of each day. And, that can serve as kind of a pad or, margin. But I think what's more important here is the concept of kind of buttoning up that day. Making sure did I get everything done I was supposed to today? Are there any last minute calls I need to make? How am I going to set up tomorrow? Do I need to reconfirm any of my appointments and things like that tomorrow? So even just a simple half hour at the end of the day.
Right.
It's scheduled in your appointment, so you're not going to schedule
anything else.
And
a lot of organizers have talked about this on your podcast with them. They all suggest doing this.
Kind of a time management time.
Yep. Time
management time.
And it's also make sure that your go bag is ready.
Yes, got to have the go bag ready, right?
Yep.
So, it's one of those things. And what else? We have
last one. Well, I'm sorry, you're still okay.
Yeah, I was just saying, do you need to file or scan any incoming papers? Kind of what's on tap for tomorrow, and you talked about the go bag. So I think we've really covered that. So the last tip for this managing time and workload is always have a plan B.
Plan B.
Plan B.
What would that be?
Plan A doesn't work. What's plan B?
Plan B is, I guess, whatever you want. If you're, a client cancels on you, maybe you have a backup plan to go visit someone new.
Right.
Make a
maybe you go to your little go bag or your portable file and you say, here's a project I need to do a little work on.
Yep.
So you have some of those things that work out.
Or you could bring a book if you're allowed to, have some personal downtime on your unscheduled downtime.
Right, yeah. Or you could stop off at Starbucks and use your gold card.
Use your gold card, get one of those big, tall...
Big ones. Usually in the afternoon, too, they have some deals on the app.
Do they?
If you get the app, we should have talked about in the app, or you get the Starbucks app, they have the deals. They send you deals.
Okay.
I
guess I'll have to start drinking coffee.
Howard, give me a call. Seriously, we can talk about that. But okay, so we want to get your questions, your comments, if you have any right now before we wrap up the show. And if you're watching this on the replay, you can see this both on Facebook and on YouTube as well. We post the replays there. So put in the comments maybe challenges you have. Maybe we'll ask some of our organizers or come up with some of the tips from our previous articles or podcasts.
Maybe someone knows someone who knows someone.
Who knows someone.
Who can get you some Starbucks hookups.
Yeah, well, that's good. So we'll cruise over to Facebook right now and just take a quick look and see if there are any questions or comments, at least give some shout outs to people here. Why don't we talk about, too, what's going on tomorrow, which is our podcast Wednesday.
Tomorrow, our podcast, we are with Julie Ulmer.
Julie Ulmer, right.
The other Julie.
Yeah.
We're talking about the anxiety Or overcoming the anxiety. That
that kind of ties into mobile organizing a little bit, right? If you're kind of anxious about getting somewhere or keeping it all together, especially now that you have to do things in triplicate.
Right.
It can be, you can be anxious about that and maybe not get moving, but she's going to give you some good tips on how to get over
that anxiety.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's 2 p.m. Central Time. Every Wednesday we release our new podcast here on Facebook, and then again you can get it after that time on any of the other places like YouTube, iTunes, Smead.com/podcast. Always has the most current and previous podcast listed. So.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Nothing coming on Facebook right now.
Kim Swenson, right? Hello. Thank you for watching.
Yes. Are you watching from Starbucks? That's all I really want to know. Maybe that's what it is, but maybe you aren't. Anyway.
And then Thursday,
because it's mobile week, we better come up with some solutions.
I think we have some.
Yeah, I think we have some fun organizing solutions.
Definitely.
Products you can use to keep yourself organized on the go.
Or at your desk.
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah.
But definitely mobile for sure.
Right. And then we will be at the end of the week, and it will be a Blogger Roundup.
Yeah.
Wow. So we take a look at organizing blogs all across the blogosphere and bring you a couple great articles that we find. If you have any great blogs that you like following, put those in the comments as well. We'd love to hear about them and give them a little exposure as well.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's a bit of jam-packed.
It has.
And we have margin maybe to get to our next appointment?
Yep, exactly.
I hope so.
Yep.
Great. All right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow right here on myOrganized.life live.